Hi everyone, it's Nancy. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to work on Spellbound, and I'm going to work on another witch page, and this here is Freya, and she's the kitchen witch. So she's going to get her own page here on the inside of the first signature right here. So I have her, that's her right here. And then from the Kitchen Witch digital kit, I printed out a page of shelves with all her salts and vegetables and spices on there. I've also printed out from the same kit some hanging herbs, because she has her hanging herbs in the kitchen that she uses. So I have that. And I have a couple of, this is also from the same kit, but reduce the size so I can cut the baskets of bread and mushrooms and flowers and things out of there. And then I also, from the same kit, there's some pages with wooden spoons on them. So I cut a couple of those, but I think I'm just going to use maybe one. And what else did I want to do? And then I needed a cauldron, and there's no cauldron in that kit that I could use, but what I did was I had a file of a cauldron, and what I did was run it through an embossing folder to give it some texture, just cut it out. So if you have a stamp or a die cut of a cauldron, whatever you have, or freehand cut one, because it is pretty easy shape. So we're going to build a page for her on here. And I'm excited to keep moving. Might have to do a couple witches in one video, but I'm going to just work with her right now. So I printed these to the size I thought would work, and I want to glue that down, and she's going to be standing in her kitchen, and then I wanted to just glue this hanging over like that, and I just fussy cut that out with a little tiny border around it because, it'd be too hard to cut out, and I think it looks really nice with that little border around it. And that's how I've been cutting all the images out from the kit when I need them. So I'm just gonna go over it with some vintage photo here a little bit, just to give it some color so it's not stark white on the ends there. So how are your journals coming? I heard from a couple of you that you're working on them, and I'm excited about that. I hope one day I can see some pictures of somebody's pages. I'd like to see some of your pages if you are working on your own version of Spellbound. That would be fun to see. See, and just that little bit really tones down the white edges. On here, I'm just going to hit it with my black because it is mostly black around here. So just to kind of tone down the white paper, that's all. But it's going to be a pretty full page. So I think I printed this 8 by 10, and I did tear it down because it had more around it. But yeah, just see what you need. I think, and this is the file folder. So I am going to, I kind of laid it out how I wanted to do it already. So that's going to go there, and then she's going to go in front, and then all the rest will go, oh wait, yeah, the rest, the baskets will go in front of her, and the cauldron, I think, will go here. I think I'm going to put her close by like that. And I think I was going to put this wooden spoon here, like kind of right there, next to the cauldron. Something like that is what I'm doing, like that. That's my idea. So she's standing in her kitchen with all her goodies around her. So let's just start getting this on, and I am going to attach this with my fabric tack because it goes faster and it's easier. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, I've got to probably do a couple witches at a time. But, you know, some of the witches are going to be on the same page because I'm not going to do 14 separate pages, especially the smaller witches. You know, some of these are larger, but I thought the larger ones could maybe get their own page. And of course, Raven and Morgana have to have their own little deal. They don't have a shop, but, you know, we have to give them recognition, don't we? All right, so let me, oh, and I'll have to show you, I did put the window on. So I will show you that when we're done. I hope I don't forget to show you. So I'm going to put this in here, making sure I'm not crushing it in the spine. And that goes on real nice. I like that. Okay. And then this here is going to go here, right kind of next to it, like that. And I think the way I was thinking she was going to be here, let's just kind of see how that goes. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I'm going to get the herbs on. I printed it big here, see, but I just turned it over and printed on the other side so I don't waste paper, even though I wasted some ink. But, you know, sometimes you just got to print it and see what size works best for you on your page. I know Amy uses an app called Print to Size. Print number, I think it's number 2. Print to Size. So if you're printing from an iPad, I think she says you can print from there. Now, I work off a laptop, so I have the option of printing sizes that I need. So depending on what device you're using will determine what you're able to do. Okay, so I'm going to grab this. I'm going to put this here, like so. Okay, right up to the top, kind of over, and I can always go in if I didn't get the edges or the little pieces here, but I think and then she's going to go over like this one here. I didn't get very good. This, but I think she's going to be glued over it. So it's just a very nice background when you can add all these images like this. Okay. Yeah, she's going to be over that. And I don't mind that their hats stick out. That doesn't bother me on the tall ones. So I think the next thing to do would be to glue her down. Maybe I need to get those little, let me use my wet glue just to get these little edges down here so I don't squirt too much of my fabric tack out. Like so. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, there we go. That looks good. I love decorating these pages with the images like that because she really looks like she's in her kitchen. Now, as you can see, there won't be any pockets or tags on her page, and it doesn't have to be for every witch, right? Every witch does not have to have, you know, a pocket full of stuff. I like to maybe put some in their environment. So I'm just making sure of where I want to put her. And I think if I put her there, the spoon goes there. And I know I want to put that here. So I want to put it probably like that, I'm thinking. So that means that she's going to go on first. Okay, and I am just going to mark a little something here so I kind of know where she goes. Just a little pencil mark. All right. See, and I had backed them with some paper. I didn't know if I was going to use these witches as journal tag. Ooh, I want to make sure I don't put too much glue on her hat. So she's going to start down here. But no, they are going to be on their pages in their shops or wherever they are or whatever they're meant to be doing. So that'll be nice. Okay. Alrighty, now let me get her on right where she needs to be, which is right about here. Okay, and hopefully I did not okay, that looks good. She's right where she needs to be. I'm glad you all like Grimsley and Clara. They are cute, aren't they? Okay, so there is Freya. And now I want to put her spoon kind of next to her. But let's see where this cauldron is. I want to make sure it's not getting in the crease. And I'm going to put that right there. All right, so I'm going to glue that on. See, once you figure out the elements of what you want on the page, it's pretty easy to put it together then. It's fun to build the rooms, you know, whatever rooms they're in or shops or whatever. I am going to put that right here, like so. Okay. All right. That looks good. And now the cauldron. Yeah, I'm surprised I don't have a... You know what's nice about having, if you do have an SVG file with, you know, your cutting machine, any kind of cutting machine, you can make it any size you need. That's kind of the beauty of it. And that's really why I ended up getting the machine a couple years ago. I wasn't going to because I figured I would never use it. I'm using it. I am using it, and it is kind of nice to be able to, you know, if I need different sizes of something, it is nice to have it. So I'm going to hold this down here for a second. Let me get that on there. I like it. Now, there she is. She's sticking now. Okay, so now I want to get these baskets, and I think I need to kind of just go over them a little bit here. I didn't do that. Okay, that one, I'll just hit it with this. Okay, so this one I want to glue here at the bottom, and I like it because it kind of brings colors in here. And then this one here I'm going to just kind of put around there. I like that. Okay, so now I'm going to put that one where I need it to be, and I'm going to try to remember where I had it. Okay. So that is going to, once I have to look again here, that one's going to go there, and this one's going to go here, right there. So let's get that on there. I love it. It's a busy page, but I love it. There's so much to look at. Okay, and then this one we're going to put right down here. So a nice little layer of baskets with breads and things in it. And that's what Freya does. She bakes breads, she makes soups, and the spells, right? Okay, now if you notice here, there's a little like raffia or something tied on that string. I have this really thin string, and I thought maybe I could just make like a bow. Everything came off the spool, so I had to contain it in here. So I am going to double it up here and see if this is going to work. It's a really thin twine, super thin twine. So I'm going to see if maybe I could tie a bow with it on screen. And we'll see if it, oh, already I'm screwing it up. Hold on. Okay, let's try that again. I could have been a cheat and just tied it off screen, but okay, it's fine. Look, I didn't do so bad there, did I? I didn't do too bad. Kind of like, right? Yeah, I'm going to put a dot of glue there, and we're going to put that on there. Okay, just for a little bit of dimension, and she's got her, this is dimensional here, so that's good. And I'm just going to put that right there, hold it there for a second. That kind of adds some dimension. And if you want a lot of dimension, you could print this again and cut some of these jars out and you know, stick them on there. I'm going to hope that sticks. I might have to add a little more in there, but stop playing with it because it's moving. Okay, so now, what else? Is there anything else I wanted to do? You know, I wanted to hang a frame in there, but obviously there's no room. So I still want to put some words, but I didn't, let's see. I wanted to put something, and I was thinking maybe I would print it out with my label maker and kind of put it over here. Maybe I could do that. And then I do have the TIm Holtz book, but I think this is more like creepy things. Oh, I could put apothecary there, couldn't I? That would, but it's just not enough, I don't think. I don't think it's enough. Here, let me get my label maker, and we're going to print a little saying out. I didn't get it out, but I'll reach for it. Hold on one second. Okay, I've got it. So we're going to print out, and I am going to clear this and print out. I'm going to say embrace the magic within. So let's see if I can type that really quick. Embrace space and that's why I like this sometimes. Magic within. Okay, and then I'm going to hit print, and we're going to see if it's going to look all right. We're going to cut it down, and ink it up. So this is a fun little gadget here. I think I got this on Amazon like years and years ago. See, and you just cut it here and clear it and turn it off. So let me see what that looks like. Embrace the magic within. Yep. So I'm going to cut it down, and sometimes I feel like I need to cut some of the embrace, or I could leave it whole. Embrace the magic within. Do I want to put it just on? I could do that. Let's let me cut this down a little. Sometimes I could cut some of this off to make it so it's not so big. It does help then if you cut some of this down. Sometimes I cut it crooked though, but you know what? Embrace the imperfection then, right? So I'm thinking I could cut more. Let's cut a little more off this one. Just a smidge more. Okay. All right, it might be a little crooked, but you know what? I'm going to live with it. So I could put it there. I could put it here, down here actually. How about down there? Or I could put it here. I am going to ink it with some brown because there's a lot of black there, but I'm thinking maybe the brown will fix it. Won't be so white. And you get the refills on Amazon too for that label maker. It's kind of fun. The only thing, this one's the only font. I think they might have newer ones that have different fonts on them, but I feel like I want to put it here. That's where I'm going to put it. So I will. Do I need to back it with something? You know what I mean? Back it with like some paper of some sort. I do have, I'm just grabbing what's over here. I have a piece of orange hand-dyed paper. That might make it pop. I don't know. What do you think? Because there is orange in here. It might just bring it out a little more. Let's see if I can cut that out. We can audition that. Because I like a little bit of wording. Okay. Let's just see how this works. Tone the edges down at this. And if it doesn't work, we'll see. We'll try something else. I'll grab something else. So if we were to do this, it would be like that. Just a little bit of orange around. Oh, that'll make it pop off better. It's a dull orange, so it's going to pick up some of the colors of orange here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put that on. So I'm just going to take the backing paper off because it is sticky. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on my paper here, hopefully the right way. Okay, and then I'm going to glue that on as I said I was going to, right here, I think. Embrace the magic. Okay, I'm going to put that there. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to put that right here. And it's okay if it's not perfect. I'm okay with that. Here we go. I think it's good. Embrace the magic within. We've got our bow on there. I like it. I do. I can do other things with it. I could, but this cat's kind of big, but I could put a black cat there too, couldn't I? I don't want to cover up her pretty label here, but I could do that if I wanted to, but I think the cat's too big. So I'm going to leave it like this. I love it. I think it looks really good, this page. And that's Freya. Oh, I've got to put her name on there, don't I? Okay, you know what? Where am I going to put her name? I think I'm going to see. I could kind of spell it in the inside of the cauldron here. Or I could put it up here, along here. I will think about that because I do want the names of the witches on their pages. So I'm going to think of that and then I'll see. But anyway, let me show you. We'll see, like when we turn the page, this is the back of the first signature and I have two witches here. I'm going to save this page for a special something, but these two gals here, this is Phoebe and Sabrina. I think I might make them on the same page like that because we need this page for something else. And then I'm going to do two on here. So most of them will have two to a page, most of them. So let me get to I want to show you the picture frame. There it is right there. Make sure there's no glare. So there it is. I love how it turned out. I glued it and clamped it and went all around. So, and I put the acetate in there. And I just love how that looks like they're looking through the window. So, oh, I just noticed I've got something stuck under there. Oh no, I'm going to have to make a little, I'll have to get in there and get that out. Oh, it's like a piece of the black got under there. I didn't even notice it. Well, I will fix that. All right, friends, I'm going to let you go, and then we will be coming back to this and start doing probably two witches to a page. Like here on this one here, we're going to decorate, and that's going to be Agatha and Hazel. And you can tell that we won't be able to get too much going on between the two of them. But let's see. And then I'm not even going to show you what's coming up back here yet, but we are doing well. So, all right, friends, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.